Yay, everyone is here. Hey cruisers, happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're so thankful to have you as part of our community. Tonight we are making a Kraken Pina Colada. This is a blended drink, so spoiler alert, I already made it because I did not want to torture you guys with the sound of a very, very loud blender. Our blender is like a little too much. So we decided to make it in advance and pop it in the freezer until it was go time, and that is what we have done. Tonight's episode is brought to you by our friends at cruiseline.com, where you can compare cruise prices with easy-to-use cruise search. Don't forget to set your price alert. If you ever wanted to hear amazing success stories about cruiseline.com, just ask anyone in our community here about their experiences with setting up a price alert, getting an email that their price has dropped, and then taking that information to their travel agent to have a price adjustment made or an onboard credit or whatever they can do. It's amazing. So, how is everybody doing? I will get my straw out of the picture. I saw that that is in the picture and that is not really a good look, so I'm gonna get it out of there. Mr. CruiseTipsTV, is it still in the shot? The straw? Oh my goodness. Hi, Junior. So, I see some wonderful faces in the crowd tonight. Some new faces. Shamika Smith, welcome. I believe you might be a new face to our crowd tonight. So good to see you here. And a lot of OG Cruise Tips TV clan. If you are new in the house, please let us know that you're new and you're here so that we can welcome you. And we're all going to go to Steel Iron 2's house for dinner because Steel Iron 2 is having linguine and clam sauce. That is absolutely one of my favorite meals when I go out to an Italian restaurant. That sounds so, so good. Oh my goodness. So a couple of shout outs that I want to give tonight. And Isabel, thank you for asking how we're doing. We're doing well. Work has been very, very busy for me this week, which is a good distraction during very difficult times. And it's good to be so busy. So we really appreciate that. Couple of shout outs. You guys might be wondering, why on earth is Sherry buying and drinking 94 proof Kraken Black Spiced Rum? Well, I happened to pop in on Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog's Periscope the other day, and he was celebrating his 10-year anniversary of Royal Caribbean Blog. And I love Matt. He's a great friend. And he said on that live stream, he said, you know, if you ever want to make something really yummy, make a Kraken Pina Colada. And I was like, oh, challenge accepted. So join me please, you guys, in congratulating Matt on 10 years at Royal Caribbean Blog. He's a great friend. Obviously, no one's cruising right now, so we're all of us in this creator and publisher community really sending each other extra love and appreciation and lots and lots of extra support right now between the creator community. It's probably a good way of saying it. So this is a toast to Matt. Also, our dear friend Shannon, who's in the house tonight, got an awesome new job, and I just want to congratulate her. It's a very special week for her. So thank you, Shannon and Steve, for being such dear friends to us. And Shannon, we're so happy for you. We're celebrating everything these days, guys. Every victory. Everything, right? Every victory deserves to be celebrated, doesn't it? So how's everybody doing? Let's do some cruise talking. Hey, Jen, it's so good to see you guys in the house tonight. It's been a while, my friend. Hi, Lynette, and thanks for giving Matt all the love. I don't think Matt is here, but we will send him a link to this on replay so he can feel all the love from the Cruise Tips TV community. Crazy Cat Traveler said, lots of drinking on YouTube these days. LOL, I know. And I read a statistic, and I think we already knew the statistic that alcohol sales are through the roof. And, you know, I've been definitely trying to be conscious of that because there is definitely a temptation to get more creative with your cocktails and just settle in with a nice glass of wine or whatever at the end of a day. I think this is a time that they're drinking more. For sure, without a doubt. So I am just seeing so many wonderful new faces in the house tonight. Little Car Chick, hello from Kansas. So good to see you here. Looking for some more new faces. We're calling out the newbies tonight. Shemeka Smith, I know you were planning a cruise before all this, and yes, so were all of us, and we're all just hanging in there until we can get right back at it, right? The time will definitely come. Looking for my newbies. Any more newbies in the house? Okay, so awesome, you guys. Hi, Deb Cochran from Central Illinois. Natasha said, bottoms up, y'all. Okay, we have our first question in the house. And Leanne B, I like how you bolded question, so I knew what to look for. Thank you for that. Leanne B said, what do you plan on being your first cruise back? Leanne, I am so eager to try to get something on the books, but I'm having to kind of hold back a little bit because I need to know how my employer is going to treat travel. And I just don't know the answer to that yet. But Leanne B, I would love to share with you some of the things that we're thinking about for our first cruise back. You doing okay? Yeah? Or is there something wrong in the set? No? Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, guys, we're going to go ahead. I want to show you the ingredients for the Pina Colada, and then Leanne, I'll get right back to your question. Really quickly, since I didn't make the drink live on the air, and I'm so sorry that we didn't do that, this is the rum that we use. This is Kraken Rum, and this is very strong stuff. This is 94 proof, and it's black spice rum, and I'll be honest, it's good just over ice or in a glass. It's wonderful. I also included some coconut milk. This is just canned coconut milk from the grocery store, and the only other two ingredients in this this blended drink are frozen pineapple chunks and ice. That's it. We also put a skinny pina colada recipe in the description of this video. So it's right next to this week's cruise news link, basically. So if you want to try a skinny pina colada, it's a 3-ingredient one. It's just rum, pineapple, and coconut milk. Give it a try. That's essentially what this is, but you can't really say you're having a skinny colada when you're having Kraken because, you know, it's probably kind of high calorie and rich and spiced and wonderful, but it's so good. So are we back on main camera now, sweetheart? Okay, thank you. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for reminding me that I needed to talk about my ingredients. So this is the end result, a beautiful frosty pina colada. It's so easy to make. It takes very little effort. And then I just put the coconut milk in a little container, put it in the fridge, and I like to add coconut milk to my coffee. It's so good in the morning. I also wanted to tell you guys, because a lot of times people will ask what we're having for dinner. A little chunk of pineapple in there, sorry. You know I hate eating on camera, so that was not intentional. Anyway, for dinner tonight, I wanted to let you know what I put in the Instant Pot. Chicken, 2 breasts of chicken, a half a jar of spicy green tomatillo salsa, half of a chopped onion, and a handful of frozen pineapple from the Pina Colada. It's so good. Mr. CruiseTipsTV, that just timed out. I just wanted to let you know the iPad has gone black. Anyways, just want to let you know. So that is what is for dinner tonight. And let's get back to Leanne's question about what cruise we're thinking about going on first. I've gone back and forth about what we should do. Should we try to get on the first cruise we possibly can? It's really tempting. I want to be able to show you guys, and Mr. CruiseTipsTV wants to be able to show you guys what cruising is like when it resumes. So there's this temptation for us to try to get on something early to mid-August. But again, I need to make sure my employer is going to be okay with that. And my respect is definitely for my employer. That's my priority first and foremost because it's my job. So I have to be careful. So that's one option. Another option is to wait until like Carnival Panorama comes back and to jump on like Carnival Panorama in September and just drive to port and not fly, which reduces our exposure, it reduces our costs. It will have to be an affordable cruise, the first cruise out of the gate, because this has impacted us financially very greatly, as you guys can imagine. I mean, we're essentially, CruiseTipsTV is the travel business, right? Even though it's a hobby and a love, it is also a business. So financially, it's going to have to be a bargain cruise. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I want to get back out there as soon as I can. Brenda, the rum is not purple. If you're asking about the rum, no, it's just dark brown. What's that? Show it again? Okay, so here's the rum one more time. And I actually want to show you the drink as well. So here's the rum. And here is the consistency of the Pina Colada, just so you can kind of see what it's looking like. What's that? Okay, sounds good. So this is the consistency. Super icy. Oh, I did add ice to the Pina Colada, guys. But here's the Kraken bottle again, and it's definitely brown. It's like cola colored, Brenda. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. They don't have a calorie count on this or anything. All I know is that it's 94 proof, and all I also know is that it was recommended to me by not only Matt at Royal Caribbean Blog, but also Tommy at Always Be Booked recommended it. And I just realized I'm not drinking my Pina. Want to thank Darren La Pana for subscribing. Darren La Apana. I think I said it right the second time. La Apana. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome. Becca, you can't have pineapple. Try it with mango. Just put frozen mango in. If you can have mango, it's great with mango, and it's also good with frozen banana. So you could try one of those two things, okay, Becca? Give that a try. Who said is it low calorie? Dave, ice is low calorie. Yeah, right? I know. So funny. Hopefully that answered your question, guys, about what our first cruise out of the gate plans are. It is killing me to not know the answer. I always want to have something planned, so it is really, really hard. But we're going to figure it out. Jim, you've got 4 olives in the martini tonight. T-Sin is reminding everybody to give a thumbs up. T-Sin, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Really appreciate you. Let's see here. Aw, Steven, it's cold over in Australia. You need summer. I know, we're in a heat wave over here. By goodness sakes, it is crazy. Oh, is that the Instant Pot beeping? I was like, what? Did I leave the refrigerator open? There's a big beep. But my Instant Pot, when it's done with the steaming, gets a little crazy. Tess Almond said, as far as cruising, she is still optimistic for her October 25th cruise. You purchased gift cards at Target today to pay it off when the time comes. Yeah, definitely. I'm optimistic for October too. I'm optimistic for September. August, I'm thinking, is a little bit up in the air. So, David said it's been 6 years since I took a cruise. I was canceled back in March. I have to book for next March. Yeah, that's good, David. I'm glad you're getting back out there. Good to see you. Good to see you getting back on the high seas next year. And I think that's a good idea to wait until next year. Oh my goodness, Jen, you guys are booked on Liberty of the Seas 8/30/20. I think I have good feelings about it. I really do. A lot of it will depend on the CDC and if they extend the no sail order, to be honest. So a number of you all had mentioned, and I just want to go over this again, that you weren't able to hear our podcast on iTunes this week. There is something wrong with iTunes, guys, or Apple Podcasts, I guess you could say. And we don't know what it is, but there's nothing that we can do because the service that we use just sends it out. And what I've heard is if you log out of your podcast app and log back in, you can listen to it. But better yet, just listen to it right on our website. I've just put a link in the description, and you can absolutely just listen to it on our website anytime. You always can just go to CruiseTipsTV.com and click on the podcast link. But we answered cruise questions from our Instagram community, and it was really fun. We talked about so many different topics. I really enjoyed it, and we had a lot of fun. There were a lot of laughs on it. We also have our most recent cruise news update where we talked about a lot of different things, and I'm going to give you guys a quick link to that as well, because there was just so much cruise news that we talked about. Where is that? Cruise news. I'm looking. Nope, that's May 29th. Well, I can't find it right now, but I will go search for it. But if you simply go to our YouTube channel or our website, all the cruise news is there. Yeah, Scott Kaler said, Instapot, the new normal, right? Wife loves it. Yes, Scott. Instapots are great for busy people, and everything is just so tasty and wonderful. I mean, I don't use my Instant Pot all the time because it can't replace like a good grilled chicken or a barbecued chicken. Like, that's just great. But when you're going for like a shredded or saucy kind of a food or something really easy, I think it's just absolutely the best. Karen, thank you for leaving a review on Stitcher. I'll try to figure out how to take a look at that. Shannon H. said, do you advise keeping the gift cards just in case more cancellations occur, or will the cruise lines cut a check for refunds? Shannon, I would keep the gift cards for now, and it's not that I don't think you would get a refund, it's just that the refunds are really slow right now. So I've heard some people also saying that that when they do give refunds on gift cards, that they give them back in the form of a gift card, so you might want to hold on to it just for now. Shannon Roth with the super chat. She said, what did the Kraken's landlord say when he renewed his contract? Release the Kraken. That's a good one, Shannon. Thank you so much for the generous super chat. You did not have to do that, but I appreciate it, and cheers to you on the great news this week. I'm so incredibly happy for you. You have no idea. Thank you. Bill Byungo said, Cruise Tips TV. Uh-oh, it went away. Sorry, guys. The comment went away right when I was going to look at it. Yeah, Brenda, I noticed that last week's podcast didn't have an episode number on Apple Podcasts, too. We'll check into that. Bill Byungo. Okay, here we go, Bill. Cruise Tips TV. I know you like princess cruises. In your opinion, what sets them apart from everyone else? Okay, Bill, so it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to talk about because you know how when something just makes you feel like home? Princess just feels like home to us. And so it's hard to explain what that means. But I'm going to try to do my best. It is because it's a subtle blend of different things that we really like about Princess. I will tell you that I find that their pools are, for the industry, are very large. They have large pools, ample pools, and covered pools on some of their ships. So some of my favorite ships are older, Grand class ships with covered pools are my favorite Princess Cruises ships because you can find an unoccupied hot tub or a nearly vacant pool so often, and it really is lovely. It feels you feel just special and like you have your own corner of the ship, and it's really nice. These ships feel uncrowded to me. The service is good. The food is good. They also have one of my favorite cabin categories out there, Bill, which is mini suites. Affordable mini suites. Maybe for a few $100s more than a balcony, you can get a mini suite with a bathtub and extra sitting area. And since we're cruising with a third person with our child, that gives us some extra space. And to be honest, we love taking baths. I know that's really weird, but it is what it is. We love it. All right, Nora B said, have you ever been on a Halloween cruise? If so, did you wear a costume? Nora B, yes, we have. We didn't wear a costume when we went, but most people actually do dress up. It's a big deal, especially on cruise lines like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and people have a ton of fun. And I've heard that it is great. Stephen Ames said, Cruise Tips TV, have you tried Norwegian Cruise Line? Oh yes, many, many times. We love Norwegian Cruise Line. We went on the inaugural Norwegian Bliss, one of the most beautiful ships I've ever been on in my whole life. I love their older ships like Norwegian Star and Norwegian Jewel are very, very special ships for the way that they're laid out. And their size is just lovely. Norwegian is a great product. So yeah, love it. Great, super. Yeah, Isabel said Princess feels like home. You love them. It really just does. Really, really does. Becca Gross said, how long is Carnival refund taking? We had to cancel because my husband can't sail anymore because he's in hospice. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Becca. I don't know exactly how long they're taking, but I think that it's something like 60 to 90 days. Nautical Nurse Nancy, hi Nancy, says, we're looking forward to cruising on Carnival Magic August 8th. It will be interesting to see and show all the changes that are out there. Okay, Nancy, so you guys are booked on August 8th. So you guys definitely want to follow Nancy's YouTube channel because she's going to be out there. I've looked at some of those Carnival sailings, Magic, Freedom, Breeze in August too, Nancy. You never know. We might see you on board on August 8th. It could happen. I'd like to get out there as soon as we can too, just as long as it works for work. Shannon said, we love dressing up on cruises for Halloween. Yay! Yes, I've heard that they're so much fun. There's some good Halloween group cruises out there too, from what I've heard. Okay, let's see what else we've got going on here. You guys are so creative with your questions tonight. It's been a while since we've had like nice, steady, normal cruise questions. A lot of times we're just talking about cruise cancellations, and it's hard to kind of get beyond the cruise cancellations, but this is really nice. Okay, Robert Miller said, what do you think about Norwegian Pride of America? Will it cruise on 8/1/2020? I kind of doubt it, Robert, but it's very difficult to say right now. The information out there about whether or not Hawaii is allowing cruises, I just don't know what the truth is on that matter. And honestly, that 8/1 date is real close to the end of the no sail order, but I sure hope that cruise goes forward. It would be so nice. Shannon H. said, I literally binge watched the cruise. Do you recommend any other cruise-related series or documentaries aside from creator content? Shannon, the cruise is actually something Mike and Cheryl introduced to me as well, and it is so good. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of time, so I don't explore those things, but I would love to tell you that I do. I want to tell you about something that Shannon, that our family has been watching though, just to share a little something personal with you. This is the exact opposite of cruise content, but there is a series on Amazon Video called Expedition Overland. And it's nothing to do with cruising. It is the exact opposite, is people who take all-terrain vehicles and traverse entire continents in them. And our style of television, when we have time to watch it, is more documentary-ish, and it is fantastic. It's like a blend between a vlog and a documentary, and it's great. The first season they explore the Yukon and Alaska, then they traverse down to Central America in the second season, and then they head on down to South America and explore those countries by all-terrain vehicle, or really by tricked out Toyota Tacomas with all the bells and whistles, and they're going through Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, and soon Argentina. It's just a fantastic series. So if you're looking for something kind of different, short 24-minute episodes, very binge-worthy, that's my kind of TV. So I hope that you enjoy that. Let me know if you like it. Country Hughes said, MSC Seaside, November 7th, my first time. Yay, Country Hughes! Love MSC Seaside. So many beautiful outdoor areas. My tips for you, even though you're not asking, I'm gonna give them to you. Hit the Bridge of Sighs, get some photos back there. It's so beautiful, and definitely go to Venky, the chocolate shop. And as we like to say when we talk about Venky, we just say, Venky, Venky, Venky. Like, it's just this amazing, wonderful thing. I love Seaside, very special. Okay. Paul Billis said, bring binoculars. It depends on where you're going. If it's Alaska, yes. Most other destinations, meh, maybe not. Paul, maybe not. Brenda Beretti said, if the key was $16.99, would you bite? Okay, so $16.99 per person per day, right, Brenda? If it was cheaper than the internet package, yes. If I were to, because it includes the internet package, if I were to look at it side by side, and I saw that the key was only a little bit more than the internet package, I might bite, but it would have to be really inexpensive, because I personally don't think you need it. I love that you get to go to a specialty restaurant on day one, you get priority debarkation, but to be honest with you, on my last Royal Caribbean cruise, we were on and off that ship so fast that I couldn't see any reason to need the key. I just couldn't. Aw, Jen, thank you so much for the super chat. Jen said, come sail away with us on Liberty. We totally could end up on Liberty. And for those of you who don't know, I met Jen and her husband in person on a ship. It was Grand Princess or Star Princess, Jen? Oh, that's kind of scary that I couldn't possibly have forgotten that. Was it Grand or Star that we met you guys? Anyway, wonderful time meeting you, and that would be really cool if we ended up back on Liberty. It is definitely on the possibilities block right now, Jen, for sure. Dolores Askew says, hi. Hi, Dolores. Paul said, have you ever been on a cruise where there's been an emergency? What did you do? We haven't been on a cruise where there was an emergency that we saw or witnessed, but we've been on many cruises where there was a delay, where we had to return to a port because of a medical emergency. On our Caribbean Princess cruise, there was a medical emergency on the last night, and so we got back into port late in Florida, and all of the tours were canceled. But I've never witnessed an emergency, and we've never had a crazy emergency on a cruise. The most scary thing that's happened to us on a cruise was when our son spiked a pretty intense fever really, really fast on the last night of our cruise on Diamond Princess, but we took him to the medical center. Thank God we had insurance, cruise insurance, travel insurance, and we got him checked out, and the doctor really reassured us that he was going to be okay to fly. So yeah. Angie Alamar said, I cruised on the NCL Encore December 2019, loved it. I want to cruise on MSC. Do you recommend him? Yes, Angie, I do. MSC is a more European style of cruising. I think it's wonderful, but it is a little bit different. I do recommend, if you can possibly afford it, to look into either the Yacht Club, which is their ship within a ship concept. If you can't afford the Yacht Club, price out the Aria experience, which is spelled A-U-R-E-A. It includes a lot, and it's really special and wonderful. Raven Hamilton said, my son's been teasing me because he catches me watching your past cruises to keep my spirits up until I can cruise again. Raven, I hear you, And we're all definitely going for some escapism right now, and I'm right there with you, Raven, for sure. For sure. Oh my goodness. Tess Almond said, Cruise Tips TV, I want to ask a question. I know this would depend on the child, but what age would you be okay allowing your son to go somewhere alone with other kids on a cruise? Tess, never. Just never. I can't do it. I don't know because we're not there yet. It depends on the child, Tess. There are 8-year-old kids that I've seen roaming a ship that I felt were ready for it. And I really truly believe that that child and that family and that situation it would be okay. My son being 11, I don't know if we're there yet. I just don't even know how to wrap my head around it. I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough. But I've seen kids much younger than him out alone, and they were doing fine. Shemeka Smith said, never been on a cruise. What is a recommendation on the rooms? That's a great question, Shemeka. We have a lot of videos for you about stateroom choice. If you can afford a balcony, great, go for it. Book a balcony cabin if you can. It's really nice to have a balcony, but never book a cruise cabin that you can't afford. Always just book what you can afford. There's benefits to every type of cruise cabin. Inside cabins have benefits. Balconies have benefits. You know, it's just one of those really personal things. But go back and watch some of our videos. We have a video about booking an inside cabin. Just search inside cabin on our website, CruiseTipsTV.com, or on your YouTube channel, and you can watch that, or do the same thing and search balcony, and you can read a little bit more, watch a little bit more, and kind of make an informed decision. Paul Billis said, do you have a favorite sun oil? Paul, I don't really use a sun oil. I have to use sunscreen because I'm so fair. Some of my favorite sunscreen products are Neutrogena Wet Skin Kids Spray. I know it's a kid's spray, but it works great for our whole family. Also, Australian Gold is very, very, very good. Has a nice steady stream, and it's a really, really wonderful scent. So Australian Gold is another great one. Miguel Espinoza said, I was feeling low earlier, but as soon as I logged in, I started feeling much better. Thank you, Sherry, and everyone else here for keeping company in this confusing times. You're welcome, Miguel. It's wonderful to be here. We feel the same way, and I always enjoy my chats with you on Facebook, so thank you for being here. We appreciate you, and we're here for you, and I think a little escape is good for all of us. Okay, Karen Griffin says, I keep holding cruises trying to figure out when to rebook, but I just keep letting them expire. It's just hard to bite when there's so many unknowns. Karen, that's the same situation we're in right now, and we're cruise fanatics, girlfriend. I hear you, and I think that's okay. You're gonna know when the time is right. I really believe that in July, we're gonna have answers. We're gonna have more answers later in July, early August, and it's so hard to be patient right now, but we can do it. We can get through it. We can be patient. Keep dreaming. We make a spreadsheet with all of our cruise options on it, and it is available in our Facebook group for our students and coaches, but you could also email me and I could send you a copy of the spreadsheet. And maybe that will help you a little bit with daydreaming. I think it's so nice when you just put a bunch of cruise options down on paper and then you kind of just keep dreaming about them. And then the clarity will come. The clarity will come. We're just not there yet. Joe said, what is your favorite Princess cruise ship? Stuck between booking Caribbean, and then I can't see the rest of it. It got cut off. Okay. Joe, I love the older Princess ships like the Grand Princess, the Golden Princess, Star Princess. But we've also been on Royal, which is one of their newer ships, and it's a spectacular ship. It's just a lot bigger. So if you're looking for more of a small or mid-sized ship experience, go for one of the older ships. They're very charming. Caribbean Princess is a great ship. It's not my favorite because it doesn't have a covered pool. So like when we're cruising somewhere like Alaska, I like Grand and Golden and Star for their covered pools. Lisa Vega said, have you ever been on a cruise where you embarked out of one city and disembarked in another city? What was your experience like? Yeah, Lisa, we have. We did Holland America's Maasdam that embarked in Montreal and disembarked in Boston, and it was really cool. It was cool flying into one port and out of another. It's very similar to a round trip, just that you're flying out of a different port. Really smooth, really great, really easy. Requires a little extra planning because you might be in a new city, but it was just super fun, actually. And one of the beautiful things about those types of cruises is simply that you get to see more because you're not looping back on yourself, you know, with the cruise. So yeah. Sharon C is here. She said, Sherry, I smiled at your comment about not being sure if you could let your son be on his own. I'm still struggling with my 23-year-old son being on his own as an ensign in the Navy working on his own ship. Yeah, Sharon, he'll always be my baby. Oh my gosh, it's the hardest thing ever. But at the same time, I'm going to milk this experience for as long as I can because he's my only child. He still likes to crawl on my lap and snuggle me. He still likes me to scratch his head and rub his back, and I love it. I'm gonna be his mommy in that way for as long as I possibly can. But I know at some point he'll be like, peace out. I won't go on a cruise with you suckers. You guys are boring. I hang out with my friends. So for now, I'm gonna work it for sure. Crazy Dog Testing said, I'm with you, Sherry. My boys are 7 and 11, and I can't imagine a time when I will let them roam the ship without a parent. They love hanging out with other kids, the kids club, though. Yeah, totally, Crazy Dog Testing. I mean, I feel like he's safe on a ship. It's not an issue of safety on a ship because I feel like ships are the most safe. It's just, I mean, would I let him roam alone at home? No, he's a kid. So I don't know, it's definitely different. Emily said, thank you for the positive energy. You're welcome, Emily, and thank you for being here and for contributing to it. Paul said, can you bring musical instruments? Yes, you can, Paul, bring musical instruments on cruise ships. Tess Allman said, I read an article today that talked about all the new technology for touchless cruising. I'll see if I can find it and post a link. It was interesting. Yes, Tess, so much good stuff coming. I know that there is a lot of bad news out there right now with the cruise industry, but on the flip side, my husband and I keep talking about how the technology advancements are going to be so cool and how they really are. It really will be very, very much a new frontier in that way. And I love that the cruise lines are innovating, that they're being forced to innovate. Hopefully, prices won't go through the roof because technology is expensive, but I don't think that they necessarily will. Joe said, what is your most memorable cruise you've ever been on? Joe, it was definitely our 12-night cruise to Asia. We started in Hong Kong and ended in Singapore. And just the fact that we had 12 nights together and we got to see 5 countries in 12 days was really, really, really special. So it was great stuff. Donato Fernando said, can we rebook our NCL FCC to any NCL destination? You should be able to, Donato. Check with your travel agent. Darren La Apana said, hey, Sherry and everyone, thank you for the shout out. Way to make your subscribers feel special. Such class, like a princess. Aw, thanks, Darren. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Isabel said, my baby is 21 and he would cruise with us in a heartbeat. Okay, that's given me hope. Thank you. And yes, Sydney, I will definitely enjoy those years, my friend. I'm milking it. Okay, Diamond Nicole said, when is the earliest you will cruise when all of this is over? Would you wait until 2021 or still go this year? I'm cruising from California for the first time on Panorama in September if it looks good. Diamond Nicole, we're considering that exact same month of cruising and that exact same ship you are. I would definitely cruise this year if it's okay with my employer and if I'm allowed to self-quarantine or if I don't have to self-quarantine, then I will cruise as soon as I possibly can, for sure. And we might see you on board in September on Panorama. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Scott Kaler said, the Asia vlogs are epic. Check it out, you guys. Yes, Scott is right. The Asia vlogs are cool. You can explore a small town in Japan with us called Shimizu, where we made friends and did really fun things. In Taiwan, we went to a geopark and we went to a hot springs resort and got into a bunch of different hot spring pools with different medicinal properties. And I will be honest with you guys, I am so skeptical about stuff like that, but I have never felt better in my life physically after going in that hot spring. I don't know what was ailing me on that cruise. I don't remember if it was back pain or if it was a skin issue or something was bothering me, and it vanished after we went in that in those hot springs. And embarkation day alone in Yokohama and Tokyo was absolutely wonderful. That is really, really scary, John, and I hope that security took care of that scary man, because that kind of stuff is scary. You can't control the public. Joe said, what ship was your 12-night to Asia on? Joe, it was on Diamond Princess. Yes, it was. And that is an amazing ship. It is a very different ship because they have is it called Izumi? The Izumi Japanese bath. They have a Japanese onsen, Joe, on the top deck. That's almost like a spa area, but it is modeled after a Japanese onsen, and they have a men's side and a women's side. They have nude bathing during some hours, but mostly it's clothed. But when the Japanese go to an onsen, they remove all their clothing. So they do accommodate the Japanese custom, and then for folks that are perhaps not comfortable with that, they have clothing time as well. Jim Ring said, Sherry, have you guys ever done the 15-day Hawaii out of LA or SF? No, Jim, we haven't, and it wouldn't be my first choice because it has too many sea days for me. It's a 15-night cruise with 10 sea days and only 5 port days. If I'm going to cruise to Hawaii, Jim, I'll probably fly over there and hit the islands and then come back. I think 5 sea days. 5 sea days on either side. I think I might be a little bit bored. I like them to be a little bit more, the sea days and the port days to be interspersed. But sometime we'll do that, like when we're retired maybe. Take Care Me said, hi, Sherry, almost missed you guys. Well, welcome. Glad you made it. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Yeah, we've missed seeing you here too, Sharon. I'm sorry, guys. This is what happens when I try to read and talk at the same time. It's not a good idea. Reading, talking. You have to do one or the other. You can't do them both at the same time. Oh, my goodness sakes. Scott Kaler said, Sherry, who was your favorite female guide in Asia who treated your son so well? Oh, she's so sweet. Scott, that was Mo with Triple Lights Japan. Triple Lights Japan is a tour company, and we booked a private guide going from Osaka to Kyoto, and she was really wonderful, very special. She spoke great English, but taught us a lot about Japanese culture and customs and guided us through Kyoto, where we had a wonderful ramen lunch with her, visited some shrines, and just fantastic. It was so great. Yeah, Seth, I tend to think that Hawaii is more of a land vacation too. Diamond Nicole, you never know, we might see you on board. I know, Miguel, so scandalous, right? They are gender separated. John, I'm glad you didn't have to lose your temper and that the security took care of it. That's really good. That's how it should be. Oh my gosh. Anthony Simone, I would like to do that 111-day world cruise on Island Princess. When it really comes down to it, when people ask me what my dream cruise is, I have to say it would be a world cruise, right? Like, if we could let's just cover all the cruises in one and say that it's a world cruise. Duh, right? Oh my gosh, that's so funny, Tess. Yeah, they're out there. Paul Billis said, best port party. Paul, do you mean like a deck party, port party? I think that's what you mean, and I'm going to say that I like the tropical night deck parties in Mexico because it's balmy and warm, and you know that when you're leaving Puerto Vallarta, it's going to be warm up there on deck, and everybody's going to be really into that vacation experience by then. So I think that's one of my favorite things. Seth said, ooh, ramen, yes. And thankfully, Seth instructed me on how to properly eat, or AKA slurp, your ramen in Japan. It is actually rude to quietly eat your ramen when you're in Japan. You are supposed to make noise to show your respect for the quality of the food. I guess that's what it is. I know I'm probably not explaining that very articulately. Yes, Supola, that is my ultimate bucket list cruise too. Oh, I'm sorry, Isabel, that the chat keeps freezing. Joe said, is Northern Europe on your list, Sherry? Yes. If we could be in Northern Europe this summer, we would be. Northern Europe and the Baltic region are very high on our priority list. Absolutely. Scott, I don't read John's messages every day, but I pop over to his page every so often and check them out. So, yeah, cool. I want to give everybody just a few more moments. In case I've missed your question, I want to just give everybody a second to retype it. If I've missed you, please go ahead and do. Shemeka, it's bad luck to bite your noodles. Ooh, I'm so glad you told me that. I didn't know that. Alex Argueta said, hey, have you ever done the transatlantic from England to the US? You've heard it's rough seas. Yeah, Alex, during certain times of the year, it can be rough. I've never done it, but I actually really would love to do a transatlantic. You know what I'd love to do? I'd like to do the transatlantic where Princess brings Enchanted Princess from Europe over to Florida. I think that'd be so great. So you never know, we might want to try that. Slurp to show appreciation to the chef, John says. Yes. Ah, Tess said it's also rude to eat quietly in India too. Oh, that's so cool. Didn't know that. I definitely didn't know that. Oh, I know. Sashimi Cat said, Sherry, I swear when everyone gets back to their offices, we're all going to actually just want to go on vacation. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the second I get back into working a normal day at the office, I'm going to want to go on vacation for sure. Yes, Paul. Port parties with dancing too. There is definitely dancing on those for sure. Yeah, Donato Fernando said, can you say something about my dream cruise, South Pacific? Yes, Donato, I can tell you it's very expensive. We were trying to get on that in November, but with air and the cruise, it was going to be $11,000, so we had to back out because I can do 4 cruises for $11,000, maybe 5. So I just couldn't do it. But it's our dream to go, you know, one of these years. We're going to have been married 22 years this September, and we said that that was going to be our 5-year anniversary present, and it hasn't happened. Joe said, would you ever consider a cruise around Britain? Crown Princess is doing it next summer. Oh, yeah, for sure. Look, we would consider any cruise, Joe. You name it, and we're there, my friend. I don't think we're going to do a short 2-night cruise anytime soon. That's the only thing we're not going to do. To me, 7 nights is generally the bare minimum, but yeah. Steve, you're back in the office on Monday. Oh my goodness. Wow. Larissa, I'm sorry that your cruise was canceled. Yeah. So Jen, you're just about back to normal in Texas. Can't wait till August. So Jen, yeah, California, in our area, we're slowly getting there. We went to our first dine-in restaurant experience this week, and it was so weird to have half the tables removed from inside. Food was great, really nice to go out, but I felt guilty. It was so weird. I felt guilt being in a restaurant. I can't explain it. It was such a strange thing. I think it's my personality. I have one of those guilt shame types of personalities where I don't know why, but I was like, I feel guilty being here. But it was okay. Oh my goodness. Scott, he's not wearing any internet clothing tonight. He's in his cozy Costco t-shirt. But don't knock it. Costco sells these too cool, I don't know what they are. They're just really great t-shirts. So, Shemeka Smith said, never stop working in the health profession. Are you in the health profession? Sorry, Shemeka, I'm not very articulate tonight. Just can't help it. There's a lot of questions in the chat tonight. I'm having a hard time keeping up with them. Brenda, you've been in the office the whole time. Yeah, a couple days a week for me too, Brenda. You do need a vacation. Oh my gosh. Yeah, John, I've heard from people about the maternity leave and paternity leave thing. It's very interesting. I know that that at first everyone was really feeling so sad for people who were having babies during this time, but then again, there's also a camp of people who are saying that not having the pressure to have friends over or to do social things when the baby's little has actually been a blessing. And so I think there's a silver lining in that too, which is really interesting. Stephen Ames said, when are you coming to Australia? My husband, Stephen, was just saying how much he'd love to come to Australia or New Zealand, so hopefully we'll get over there someday. I know there's a lot of great princess cruises over there. Yeah. Yes, Nancy, if you're going on Queen Mary 2, it is very, very formal. It is definitely. It's just the experience. So I think you're going to find that it's different, but that there's a lot to do because of the fact that they design it so that on sea days there's just an enormous amount of enrichment activities and things like that. So I think you're going to have a good time. Uh-oh, we got a question about your beard, honey. Mike and Cheryl said, how is Mr. C's beard doing? It's gone. And he looks like a baby now. His skin's all soft, and it's so weird. It's so weird. I liked the beard. It looks nice that he's shaving it off, but I really enjoyed the beard phase. I really, really, really did. Yeah. Elisa, you work in the birth pavilion. Yeah, I'm glad that the spouses come in now. Yeah, John, he shaved it off. He shaved it off. Bill, you're going back to work next week. Oh my goodness sakes. Yeah, Lisa, I haven't been drinking it. I need to. It's so hard to talk and drink, and then when I figured out there was chunks of pineapple in it, I decided I better wait so I'm not chewing on air. Drink first, talk later. There's a piece of pineapple in there. Told you. She said drink first. Did you say drink first, talk later? Or did they say that? Look at you. I need to pound my pina. So good, you guys. Love it. Paul said, has anybody ever read a book on a cruise? I think people have. I have for so many, Paul, I've packed so many books that I haven't read. I have stopped packing books because they are a waste of space in my suitcase. I can't even read them on the plane. I never do. Seth said, R.I.P. Beard. Yes, rest in peace. He can always grow it back, right? He's looking pretty stealth these days, though. Thank you, John. Thank you, John Burns, for being here. Miguel said, which was the most expansive cruise you've ever taken? What made it so expensive? Oh, I think you mean the most expensive. The most expensive cruise? Maybe. But it wasn't really that expensive. We are budget shoppers, guys. I will hunt down a cruise date that saves me money and go for it. I'm going to just tell you, I think our most expensive cruise was Asia, but I cannot tell you what a good deal we got. I can tell you, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you exactly what a good deal we got. So, the cabin for 12 nights, a mini suite, was $3,400 for 3 people for 12 nights. So if you do the math on that, you find out that it's under $100 a day in a mini suite. The air, we got such a good deal on the air to Tokyo and then home from Singapore. I'm not kidding you guys. Our air was $400 a person. So the cruise was $3,400. The air was $1,200. That is $4,600 for a 12-night cruise to Asia on a premium cruise line. That is a good deal, and that is the most we have ever spent on a cruise. Because we are stingy about it. We would rather go on more cruises than spend a ton. I should tell you that we were booked on Diamond Princess. We were supposed to go in April, and that cruise was going to cost us $7,000 with air. So it was going to be a 9-night Spring Flowers cruise. With air and the cruise, it was $7,000. The cruise was canceled. We got a generous future cruise credit from Princess because when they canceled our cruise, it was before the time when you either picked a refund or a future cruise credit. So we got both a refund and a future cruise credit. So they gave us a full refund, which everybody got this early on. If your cruise was canceled that close in February, our cruise was canceled in February, Princess people, most of them got full refund and a future cruise credit. So we've got a good $1,600, $1,500 in credits with Princess that we can use, and that's a factor too because we have to use that by February. So we're looking at Princess cruises too, but we are very, very thrifty generally. We did reschedule our Asia cruise for November of this year, but we're not going to be able to afford it because we had to buy a new computer that just happens to be the exact same price of that cruise, so that is off the table. Asia is not happening this year. No big cruises are happening this year. The first cruise we go on will very likely be a bargain cruise. As many of you know, we are occasionally hosted by cruise lines. It is not a frequent occurrence. Some people may have misunderstandings about that. But on occasion, we will be invited to cruise with a cruise line, and that is a real blessing for our family. But as of right now, there's nothing like that in the works and nothing planned. But if it happens, we'll let you guys know, and that's also an option for us this year too, if it's a good fit. So what's everybody up to? Take Care Me said, did you mention when your next cruise will be? We just don't know yet. We don't have anything planned. We're kind of looking at Carnival Panorama, maybe September, kind of looking at Carnival. In August. MSC might resume service a little sooner than others, so we might be on an MSC cruise sometime in August. It'll be a good value cruise though. Cassie King wants to know if anybody knows anything good to do in La Romana. I don't know, Cassie, but let's see if we can get some help. Darren La Apana said, I love a good deal. Am I the only one who keeps checking the price to ensure I got the best deal? Oh, of course, Darren. I am relentless about that, and when it happens, my travel agent, I make her life miserable. I'm like, hey, can you check on this? I'm just kidding. We're really not. I'm not that persistent. Honestly, my travel agent typically looks for me and finds price drops or upgrades before I even get to them, but sometimes I drive her crazy. Scott Kaler said, just a shout out to all the crew of our favorite ships. They're so friendly and make our cruises so memorable. Seems many are unemployed or furloughed. Prayers that they all sign new contracts soon. I know, Scott. That was so, you could not have said that more beautifully, Scott. Thank you. And yes, we will be, I have a really fun surprise for you guys. I'm actually going to be doing an Instagram live in the next few weeks with a friend that we met in the childcare center on Caribbean Princess, and she has agreed to come on my Instagram page live to do a little interview about what it was like to be on a ship for an extended period of time. It's going to be really cool, you guys. I can't wait. So please follow CruiseTipsTV over on Instagram. The reason I'm doing it there is because it's very easy to go live with someone else, and that's her platform. That's where she is. So we're gonna do that there. It should be really fun. Cool. All right, you guys, we're gonna go eat some dinner here pretty soon. If I've missed any of your questions, you know that you can go over to Facebook, CruiseTipsTV, or Instagram, and you can send me a direct message on those platforms. I'm really, really good about getting back to everyone. I hope all of you enjoyed the Kraken Colada tonight. I certainly did. I'm gonna go put it in the freezer and let it get a little bit more frosty, get dinner ready. I'm gonna shred up that chicken, and I think we might either put it over some brown rice or maybe even make it into like tacos or quesadillas real quick. I'm super hungry, so I think we're gonna go do that right now. But Jen, I love the Liberty idea. You've planted a seed, so I will keep considering it, I promise. Irish and USA, the best way to track cruise price decreases is very easy. I want you to go to cruiseline.com. They're wonderful. Full disclosure, they are a sponsor of our channel, but we use them and have used them for the whole entire time they've been in business, so this is a great tip, promise. Find the cruise that you want to track and simply toggle the button that says set price alert. It's like a little toggle button. It will ask you to enter your email, and it will email you when the cruise price goes up or down, and then you can contact the cruise line or your travel agent and they can help you with that. So good way to end out the show. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Again, message me anytime. I will get back to you if I miss you today in this very busy chat. Thanks for being here, and until next time, we'll see you on the high seas.
Cruise around the week.
Hey, click me to subscribe.